Hey guys, welcome to this new video. So in this video, I want to tell you the reasons why I choose Ho Chi Minh City and in general Vietnam to be my second country. When I say second country, I talk more about a personal experience and why I decided to spend most of my time living in Vietnam. So I don't know your current situation, if you are considering coming to Southeast Asia, maybe a digital nomad, maybe you come here with an expat position, or maybe you are coming to Asia to explore business opportunities. And I hope through this video, you will get some of my insights, the lessons I learned, and also my own experience and why I decided to make this place the city I will spend most of my time. So, quick information about myself first. I've been traveling to different cities in Southeast Asia. I was really a digital nomad for a while. Go to one country to one country, staying from a couple of weeks to a couple of months. And I could really see the life as someone who just jumped from one country to one country, and also staying in some of the cities like Chiang Mai, Phnom Penh, for instance, a couple of months. And finally, after benchmarking the different countries here in Asia, I choose Vietnam and especially Ho Chi Minh City as the place to spend most of my time. So of course I will still travel and I will still go to Europe, go to South America. I plan to do actually some long trips over there, but I really feel that here this place will really, really catch me, and I will really dedicate more time to be living here. So through this video, I will share you some of the main reasons why I choose this country, but also the lessons I learned and the experience I had through almost 5 years being living here. So the first lesson and the first thing I learned in Vietnam is that in this country, things are changing very fast. It's changing very fast on the individual perspective, on the business perspective as well, on the career aspect. So if you come here to Asia and especially to Vietnam, you have to be ready that things may change a lot. So things change very fast just because we are in a megalopolis, right? Here there is about 10 million inhabitants. The GDP is growing very fast every year. We got in average 7% of growth. And even because we are in an entrepreneurship city, many people here are coming here for opportunities for business. So you will see new buildings, you will see a lot of new infrastructure, a lot of places that before it was, those places there were nothing, and after they will decided to make a big real estate project. They are building some bridge, they are building some tunnels in the city. This is really probably things that you observe in Shanghai 20, 30, 40 years ago, in big cities like Kuala Lumpur, similar maybe 10, 15 years ago. When you check and when you see the before after pictures, you really realize that the city changed a lot. And I feel that in Vietnam now, because the country just recently opened in terms of allowing foreigners to invest, allowing companies to come here to really serve this booming environment, the country may change a lot in the upcoming future. So if you come here and if you have probably some assumption about the country, maybe you will be wrong. And when I came here, maybe the first time was 7 years ago, and after I did some trips and finally when I settled here, I really see that things change very fast. So you have to be ready, you have to be willing to take those risks as well, right? For instance, in the visa aspect, things change very fast. And just because of the trends that you have in the city, you will see brands coming, you will see brands from Korea, from Taiwan. We had the trend of the bubble tea. We had some local trends of some yogurt and coconut dishes. Trends come and leave. So when you come here, and for instance, here I'm more talking to the people who have this entrepreneurship mindset and may want to maybe import some concepts, it's a very good place to do it. But you also have to be ready that trends may change very fast. So let's say you can surf a trend, then you have to think about also the exit. And how can you maybe launch a new concept, launch a new brand? You go, I don't know, from one restaurant to 3 restaurants. And then at that time, you can really try to sell your place. So it's really the mindset you have to have here. And maybe you have to think less long-term, I would say, even if, of course, I'm here for a long time and I really have a long plan to be living here, to do some investment, to do some business here. But you have to keep it in mind, and you have to keep that, because things change very fast. Even the local people here, they will be super hungry and super into something, and again they will change and the new concepts come and go very fast. So you have to keep that in mind if that's something you want to come for that like new exotic way of living, huge differences in the country. And I come now to the second point, and the second also reasons that finally let me and keep me here, is that I feel in Vietnam you have a very good diversity between some very modern cities like Ho Chi Minh City, Da Nang, Hanoi. You can go to some parts of the city where you really feel that you are in very modern cities. You have some new areas where they decided to build very branded new projects. You have some very nice residents here. And on the other way, you can also be lost in some districts that are very local. And over there, you can really have that good diversity and things that as an expat, every day you will always see new things. I remember my life in Paris when I was there 8 years ago. It was new for me because it was not my hometown. So I discovered for a year about new things. I could enjoy the vibe. But I feel that after a while, you are tired about that. You don't have enough new excitement, not enough new things, not enough opportunities. And just, I feel because we are expats here, we will tend to be more open. We will tend to be more open to try new things. We'll be more open to try new activities. Just because this is not the language that we understand, we will immediately be, I feel, more willing to understand new things. And even if sometimes some of the cultural things are still very weird for us, it's just a way to explore them and just being like, okay, they have this perspective about this cultural aspect. I have a totally different perspective on that, but it's just a way to benchmark, right? And then I feel that the life here, this is something that allow foreigners to really take the best of their own culture and what they found here. And again, I really feel after traveling a lot here that Vietnam really have this good mix. Let's say if you live in Singapore, if you live in Kuala Lumpur also, I spend a lot of time there, maybe it's too fancy, maybe it looks like the same, right? But when you really come to an emerging country, I had this a little bit in Cambodia, but I feel that in Cambodia you didn't have enough of the luxury aspect, the new brands, the new part of the district. And then in Vietnam, I feel that you have also all the history of the country. And when you go, for instance, to some local district in Ho Chi Minh City, or even if you take the move to go to places like Dalat, it's a town that was before, when the French people were here, when Vietnam was still a colony of French people. They really built a lot of monuments over there. You have a church, you have guard station, you have some park. And when you travel there, you are really feeling that you are in a totally different environment. And I feel that when you really spend time overseas, having this diversity as being able to change from one environment to another is something that will keep nurturing you, and you will always feel like amazed by something. Or when you are tired about, for instance, being in a crowded city, Ho Chi Minh City can be very crowded, but before the current pandemic, when I feel tired of the city, I was just taking a flight, going out of the country, going to Phuket, going to Chiang Mai, going to Malaysia, I mentioned it, going to the Philippines, and then you spend there a week, 2 weeks, a month, and then when you come back to Ho Chi Minh City, you are again like a new person, just arriving, and you enjoy your first ride on the motorbike. You see the people going out late, spending time on the streets, and then again you will start again to rediscover what the country has to offer. And I feel that again, just benchmark, do your own comparison about the places in Asia, but I feel that Ho Chi Minh City has a lot to offer in terms of this diversity. Now, the third thing that I also kept me, and one of the reasons I choose really to make Ho Chi Minh City as my second home, is because of the opportunity. I mentioned here a little bit that there is a lot of expats and foreigners who are considering coming to Vietnam to do business just because of the fact that the country is opening, that it allows more and more foreigners to come here to do business. As a foreigner, for instance, you can here in Ho Chi Minh City, but just in Vietnam in general, own your company as a foreigner. Some different countries will ask you to absolutely have a nominee, absolutely have a partner. So sometimes you may not be very comfortable if you have to always have to rely on a local to really, manage to maintain your business. But I feel that here in Vietnam, you have this opportunity. And when you just see where the country is going and what's this law allowing foreigner to come, I'm not saying that everything is perfect, and sometimes the government is going on one direction and they're tightening the policy and then going back to something more normal. Just this year, we had more regulation for the working permit for the foreigners, and just last week the government say now because of the current situation and just because that the country is struggling, we need to allow more people coming here with easier regulation for them. So finally, those countries, you see that they manage to adapt very fast. And then when you are an entrepreneur, when you are someone who come here to do business, it's very good to be and try to fit in those kind of environments, because sometimes it may be more challenging for you, but you know that those governments, they need to rely on foreigners. They need to rely on foreign direct investment. So if you have this mindset and if you feel that you like the vibe here, you like, I don't know, everything that is here in Vietnam, and then you have this mindset of, for instance, I wanted to build a company, I wanted to manufacture products here and export overseas, or I already have a company overseas, and here I see that in Vietnam we have a huge workforce, people are young, the education and some for instance field, like I think about IT, but that's just an example. People are very good in IT here. You could decide to make here a hub of your company, and of course it will take some months to really adjust the current business that you are in, but I'm pretty sure here you could find talent, and either that can help to support your business overseas, or either it can just be a country that you will consider to expand your market. If you are currently targeting foreign countries, why not you try to also open your own experience on Asia? And here, just because Vietnam has around 100 million inhabitants, the GDP again is growing very fast. You have big cities, Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, they have almost 10 million inhabitants with a middle class, that is rising. And then I don't know the current product that you try to sell or the idea that you have, but that's potential people that can afford, that can buy expensive goods that are imported from overseas, for instance. When you really spend time here, when you see the young, wealthy Vietnamese, or some, again, middle class people that are working for international companies, most of those people, they expect and they have their standard that is rising. So if as a foreigner, you can see that and you can see that trend, and you know that here maybe there is a lack in some specific products, it could be a very good city to try, and again, on the other side here, you don't need to invest so much to try. And this is also the beauty that you have here. It's very easy to hire people. It's very easy to set up a company. The cost, if tomorrow you want to open an offline business, find a venue, negotiate with your landlord for, I don't know, a year or 2 years of a rent, then of course you will have to put some investment, right? We are not saying that here everything will be cheap and that you don't need to invest anything. But if you are willing to take that baby step and explore and benchmark what you can do in, for instance, France or Europe in general, and what you can do here, maybe you will see that there is some gap that you can come with your experience, that can come with your knowledge about a certain market, and you can apply it and see how things goes, right? So that's the third reason why I really choose Ho Chi Minh City to be a place also to settle here, because my plan was to build a team. I have an e-commerce company as well, and so I needed to hire people to maintain that activity. And after a while, when I finally start to implement those baby steps, I also find that there are more things to share, and That's why I created this YouTube channel and moved to Asia and finally grow that community of people who also want to learn about the opportunities that they have in Asia. And I really feel that Vietnam has something special. And maybe obviously I am biased because I'm here for a while, but it's also because I feel that they have something, and there is again an underrated value that many people didn't see. So that's why I decided Ho Chi Minh City to be a place to do business and to invest. Now the fourth thing that I also like in Vietnam especially is that because the country is very big, you can really take time to explore it. And for instance, I spent about 6 months in Cambodia. Before I also had an experience in Hong Kong. When I was there in those countries, I feel that they are very small. So of course you can go out, you can entertain yourself for a couple of months. Everything is fun, everything is new. So you discover this new culture. You spend time, maybe you start to have some local friends. They bring you to their hometown. You are basically discovering, right? So it's very easy to fit in a country for 3-6 months. But usually after a while, after maybe the gap of 1 year, a year and a half, maybe you will start to miss your home country, or maybe you will see that finally the country is too small, that maybe there is a lack of opportunities for you, or just maybe you didn't feel that you have any kind of connection, right? Or feeling that you can really get commit here, get commit to the country that you choose, and that you can really leverage either your skills or either your experience to be really being able to fit and to do something in the country. Rather that in Vietnam, again, I feel that those big cities has a lot to offer. So I'm someone who like to be in big cities. I like the crowd. I like to go out. I like also sometimes to party. I mean, I'm really a guy from the city. I come from a small town in France, and here I really discover that big cities, you know, and that's something that I like, and that's something that I always enjoy. But I also like to take my motorbike to go outside of the big road, to do some off-road, to go some places that usually is not really on the map, or you don't have any review of tourists or expats talking about those places. I like also to have this, and I feel that in Vietnam, because the country is very big, you have also a lot of diversity. And for instance, for about 2 years, since the beginning of the pandemic, we couldn't travel, right? I mean, outside of the country, the border was locked. So most of the expats who choose to stay here because either we had job, either we had a business, we really choose that here to be the best place to wait that this pandemic is over. And finally, for about 2 years that I'm here, I didn't get that bored. Of course, sometimes you are still like, oh, I would like to go to Thailand, I would like to go to Malaysia, I miss the vibe and the nightlife of Hong Kong. Of course, this is just the part, and this is just because we were stuck in this country, but it was still very easy to take the motorbike, to go to some mountain area. Just 6 hours from Ho Chi Minh City, we have Dalat. Over there, you know, we call it the Little Paris, so you have a lot of park, a lot of nice areas. You can really go as a weekend getaway. It's also very easy to go to the beach, and not so far from Ho Chi Minh City, we have a place called Ho Cham. Over there, you have very nice resorts, so you can also spend a weekend there. And then if you just want to have something more local, it's quite easy to reach Mekong Delta. And over there, Mekong Delta is super big. So you can take your motorbike, say, okay, this weekend I will go more on the east, this weekend I will go more on the west. And then over there you find a cheap hostel or a hotel, or it depends which kind of standard you are aiming for. And then you can just take a weekend outside of the big city, and when you come back, you enjoy again the vibe that the big city has to offer. So Vietnam really have, you know, that good mix between tropical weather in the south. If you go to the north, you have more the 4 season, and if you go really to the north, you have mountain area. Over there you have also a lot of minorities, and then you can really discover, and you really can be immersed in a new environment. Again, new tribe, you know, so new dialects. Even when you go to with some Vietnamese, sometimes the Vietnamese they say Hong Hiu, they don't understand how those guys are, what those guys are talking about. And in those locations, because sometimes they are very easy to see foreigners, then they can speak to you in English. So I really feel that Vietnam has this diversity, this very different culture everywhere. This very big country with some mountain if you are into nature, with some waterfall again if you are into hiking. You have a lot in Vietnam, and if you are more someone who like the beach, you can just take your motorbike, drive for 3 hours, and then you will reach the area in Ho Cham, Vung Tau. You can do some kite surfing around Mui Ne, around Phan Rang, around Nha Trang. You have also those things that you can enjoy nearby the beach. And then you have also some islands. We have a lot of islands in the south. We have, for instance, Con Dao, that is listed in one of the 7 most beautiful islands worldwide. We have the big island called Phu Quoc. So that diversity, sometimes you don't feel it in some countries, right? So I feel that Vietnam also have this, that sometimes as a tourist, of course, you will discover it a little bit. And finally, when you are already benchmarking the different options that you are having, it can be a good country to keep in mind if you want to find a place to live in Asia. And finally, the 5 reasons why I'm here. It's just because of the quality of life. I was mentioning those trips. I was mentioning that it's very easy. In Vietnam, I feel that everything is really, well customer friendly. So even as a foreigner, if you just manage to understand a little bit and speak a little bit of Vietnamese, you can go everywhere. I went far from big cities by my own, taking my bike, just going there. If you have a problem on your motorbike, you will easily find a guy. Maybe the guy, he will be amazed and he will look at you with his big eyes. He won't really know how to approach you, but you speak to him in Vietnamese a little bit. You explain him, my bike is broken because of that. And then I feel that here, everything is easy. When you come here, it's quite easy to rent an apartment. It's super cheap in terms of cost of living. I will make another video that you can have a look that is dedicated about the cost of living in Vietnam. But again, you can find apartments. It depends what you are looking for. It depends the vibes that you are looking by coming to Asia. I know some people, they are more into, they want something that is more quiet. And you have a lot of places in Vietnam that can offer you that. You have area like Da Lat, if you want something ever more countryside, but still in the mountain, you can go to Buôn Ma Thuột, to Pleiku over there. It's very nice. It's the area where you have all the coffee culture. If you are someone who like the beach, you can go to Hoi An, you can go to Da Nang. I mentioned Nha Trang before. In the south, you have Vung Tau, that is not so far from Ho Chi Minh City. I mean, you have a lot of places that could really match your expectation. And again, it's very easy. So as someone who can come to Vietnam, and this is maybe the only minus thing that we have in Vietnam, it's mostly about the visa. That maybe you like Vietnam, so you can come here a month, 2 months per year. Maybe if you are lucky, you can get a 3 months visa, and maybe you can extend it one time. But I feel that over the last years, things are getting more and more strict in different countries. So if Vietnam may be a place where you want to spend a couple of months per year, it may be easy. But if you really want to be your home and ready to spend, I don't know, more than 6 months based in Vietnam and be able to travel in all Southeast Asia, it may be difficult just in terms of the visa policy. So you don't have a lot of options. Some people, they choose to find, for instance, a part-time job for an education center. You have a lot of English-speaking people who did that just to get the appropriate visa. They make an agreement with a language center. The language center is very happy because they have a native person that fits the requirements to get a work permit. And then the foreigner is not also overwhelming so much, and maybe he just have a part-time job. Then you have also the other angle of being an investor. So if you already have this entrepreneurship mindset and you may find in Vietnam that this place could fit with your business objective, then you can also get long-term visa as an investor. And then the last option is mostly to get married. So if you fall in love with someone who is Vietnamese, either that person is Viet Kieu, living overseas and you want to come back to spend your retirement here, or if here you came to Vietnam and you find your love here, you can also maybe get married and also get a long-term visa while having an exemption as a foreigner. So there are options. The options are not a lot, we don't have yet retirement visa or digital nomad visa. Let's see how things gonna change in the upcoming future, because all those countries are aware about this potential to attract more and more foreigners. So let's see how the country gonna choose or not to go in this direction. So here is about my thoughts and the 5 reasons why I decided to make Vietnam, and especially Ho Chi Minh City, my second home. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've been to Vietnam before, if you travel here, if you spend here time, I don't know, as an expat, as an investor, feel free to leave a comment below. Share me your thoughts about Vietnam. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I'm super willing to listen all the different point of view about this subject. So take 1 or 2 minutes to write your comment below and we can continue the discussion. If you also enjoy or didn't enjoy the video, leave a thumbs up or leave a thumb down just below, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.
Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like